Alrighty, so I just finished getting that video that I recorded that you watched first done, and I realized something that Windows did weird is it didn't pick up my microphone. So the audio in there was not as good. So I apologize for that. But I thought the content worked out well, so I'm going to leave it. So now we're doing the next step. So where we ended last time, we had uploaded the two images, the picture of yourself, which again, upper lowercase, no spaces, lowercase extensions, the two files you need for this work. And so now what I'm going to show you is embedding. Because here's the deal is when you click reply, there's this thing called attach, and you might naturally think, well, I'm just going to attach the images into the discussion. And I'm just going to tell you part of what I'm trying to help you learn or have experience with is that once you create an image and it has a source from where it is located, if I was to upload it from my local computer, I would then duplicate that space. For one thing, I'd have it both here in Canvas and here on GitHub. So that's one thing, it's just more efficient. But the other thing is that this is just what we do on the web, is we typically just reference images that are already out on the web, and we can do that in many different places. And of course, in websites, this is a very common practice. So here's what I want you to do is in your once you click into the reply, okay, and this is kind of, I've already mentioned this before, is that down here in the bottom there's this nice little interface that actually allows you to write HTML code, and that's part of what you're going to learn for this class. But for this first assignment, I'm going to have you do the WYSIWYG, okay, and the WYSIWYG is what you see is what you get. So when you select these options in the WYSIWYG, it actually is writing code for you. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to look at that. So I'm going to come over here to image, and it's the icon right in the middle. And in this case, and this is a little misleading because we're actually not going to upload an image. Okay. Oh, I have to grab the URL. So let's actually do that. So over in the images, let's first do, you can do it however you want. Okay. So here's the image of me. And you might think you could just grab this URL. For some reason, Canvas doesn't like that. So what we're going to do is right click on the image and hit copy image address. Now, when you do that, I'm going to open up a new tab. You don't have to do this step. I'm just going to show you. When I paste that URL, notice how it actually looks a little different. Like if we were to compare the two, we could look at it. Part of it is it's saying it's raw, right? Part of it is, I think, the URL, the way it's done. Yeah, a little bit. It actually includes the HTTP here, right? So what we're going to do is use the copy image address. Come back to Canvas. And in here, and actually, let me show you this. Do your writing first. Now, as you learn more about how this little editor and the WYSIWYG and the actual writing code works, you can see an easier way to work with this. But for this assignment, you actually do need to do a little bit of writing, which is write about yourself, what OS you're using, and maybe here also talk about the fact that what do you have a backup, right? So that's one of the things I really find important is when taking online classes, okay? But now that we're here, I'm going to go down to the new line. I'm going to go back to images. I'm going to go to upload. And now in here, that URL that I had before, I'm going to copy that. Remember, this is the one I did. Now, alt text is great because this is something also that we need to do as web developers, is give images words that screen readers and people that are using screen readers and people that aren't using screen readers can see what that image is. Okay. And I can just give it my name. And in this case, you leave everything else defaulted, okay, because we are embedding this image, and I'll show you what this will mean in a minute. So we're really not uploading it in this case. By giving a URL, we are embedding the image based on an external source. So I'm going to hit submit. And now what happens is that image shows up, okay, directly in here, but I didn't have to attach it into Canvas. And that's a lot of what I look for in this assignment is, did you do that? Now let me show you what it did, just because I think it's fun. It actually wrote or created an image tag, and the source, which is called an attribute, has the URL that we copied, and then it has alt. So we can actually use this copy this, like if I copied this, or you could do it the other way for the next image if you wanted, right? If I pasted it, now what's going to be different about this one? Well, we're going to have a different URL. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that URL, and the alt tag is going to be different. The alt tag is going to be my, oh, be careful here. And by the way, really careful, and this is part of writing code, making sure you don't get rid of the quotes. I'm going to say my, oh, see, my little editor is not liking it. I'll just get rid of this. I think it's actually my keyboard on my laptop, my print screen, or let's say my desktop. It's even better. Okay, now we need to go get that URL and paste it in between these quotes. So let's go do that. I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to click on the print screen. I'm going to right click. I'm going to hit copy image address, really important. That's the one you want to select. And now paste it. Okay. Now let's see if that one worked. And how I see it worked is I get out of the writing the code. I get back into here. I can scroll down and I see that image is there. Awesome. Okay. So here's what you need to do to complete. Oh, by the way, if you have a problem with that, you can still use this icon, what we call WYSIWYG. Like I said before, what you see is what you get editor. Just I want you to get used to using this as writing it. Okay. So I already said that. So the last two things you need to do is in Canvas, there's a profile for you. Please use your image for that if you don't already have it set up. And in GitHub, there's also one as well. If you come over to GitHub at the very top, let me go here. I'm signed in. Oh, actually, well, here what's what I want to do is actually go to my part, my individual part of GitHub. I love it when it does that. So instead of our course organization, I would go to mine. Now I already have my picture, but if I scroll over here, and actually I think if I just click on the image itself, oh, actually it shows me the image, which is kind of interesting. On my Mac the other day, it actually showed me the settings. Oh, I'm not signed in. That's why. Okay, so I'll go ahead and sign in. No wonder it wouldn't let me change it because I thought I was somebody else. So now that I'm actually in here, I can edit profile. I can do that. Or I believe here I can just change the image, the avatar. There we go. And then you can edit it here. Okay. And then if you run into any issues, I hope you don't, with the size, you'll now know how to resize it. You could do that as well. All right, I hope this helps you out. So remember, from here on out, when you're taking print screens to prove work or for whatever other reason, make sure you're doing the process of creating whatever it is, resizing it, and then embedding it into your output. All right, hope this helps. Talk to you later.